Good afternoon. Today again we are in the studio of Zhyldyz Chymanova University, Media Manas. We have two other guests today from two different departments. And today again we are going to discuss different topics related to watching movies and using the movies in language teaching. First of all, I would like to introduce you our students from English Language Leadership Department, Ainazik, Kamalova, and Kyrgyz English Translation Department, Merim Kamchibekova. Did I pronounce well?
Yeah.
And I would like to introduce yourself a little bit in a few sentences, please. Ainazik.
Good afternoon. I'm a senior student in Manas University, and I'm studying English language and literature. And today I have come to be involved in the topic about the teaching movie in ELT classes. This is so far.
Thank you very much. Anything you can add?
No.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
And Merim Kamchibekova, right?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And I am a freshman at Manas University, and I have come here to talk about useful sites of watching movies in translations.
In translation, right?
Yeah, in interpretation.
Good. Can I ask you a question? Why did you choose to be a translator or interpreter?
Because from the childhood I like learning English, and I used to translate when I was watching a movie before coming to this university.
Really?
Yes, like a game, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So she is just going to be a good translator interpreter, I believe.
Thank you.
Okay, and first of all, we would like to talk about last week's movie. And last week's movie was Breakfast at Tiffany, right?
Breakfast at Tiffany's, right.
So, and I would like you, please, sir, first of all, I'm sorry about that. Professor Carlson and Dr. Chymanova and me, myself, again, in this program, you see. And Professor Carlson, would you please tell us about a little bit why did you choose that Breakfast at Tiffany movie? It's a classical movie, right?
Yes, I recommended Breakfast at Tiffany's because it's really a classic movie. It's also considered a national treasure. It's stored in the Library of Congress as a national treasure, and also because of the actress, Audrey Hepburn. She has a remarkable use of the English language. She's able to adapt to any dialectal situation. For example, the way she adapts to the way people speak in New York City as opposed to the way they speak in the southern parts of the United States. In fact, part of her speech, part of the movie is her adaptation to New York speech, and then she switches to her native dialect from Southern American English. She's able to do this very well. She's done this in other movies like My Fair Lady, where she plays a London street girl, switching into the dialect of the London street language. So she adapts herself very well to different varieties of English. She also has a real good command of the English language. The song she sings, Moon River, is a classic, and this made the film very, very famous. It was a famous song in America at that period.
Does she always sing the song?
She sang herself.
Really?
That's her.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
yeah.
And the way she merges the tones of the song into one another, Moon River, and the students can listen to the way the sounds, the phonemes, are merged into other phonemes through singing. I think singing is a good. The benefit of this one song in the movie, really.
When was this movie made? Do you remember?
In 1962.
1962. Since then, anything changed in dialect?
No, but
Not really. Huh?
Well, language changes, of course, but
Yeah.
but her use of the language at that time.
See, I mean, I have never heard of any kind of archaic expression in the movie. Did you hear that?
No. But her dialect, I mean, just the dialect, the way she projects herself to be a New Yorker, darling.
She pretends to be, right?
Yeah, she pretends to be in a high-class society, and then she switches back to her childhood in the South.
Flashback.
When she was just growing up in a flashback, and then she switches her dialect when she flashes back.
Yeah.
So
And so I think you just chose that movie on purpose.
yes,
Because
yes,
it's classical,
yes,
right?
Yes, and
You're
because
fond
of the
of classical
song, and
movies, I
because of the song, we also had a song in Titanic, which the
Yeah.
students
Yeah.
learned.
And every movie soundtrack, right? And they have the songs, right?
Yes, I think this is.
Dr. Chymanova, did you watch the movie?
Yes, I did.
The first half or the?
Just the first part.
Okay. Could you say anything about it, or
About this movie,
how do you think about the classical
Okay.
movies in terms of students' ideas?
students' ideas, okay. I think that my students also had the same idea as I had, because
So you're speaking on behalf of them.
yes, because I talked, every week I try to talk to them about the movie which they watched. And Audrey Hepburn, as Mr. Carlson said, is considered to be a symbol of
Yes.
some kind of style, because
Yes.
we had once topic with my students when we discussed about styles, to be stylish. And
Because she's able to adapt to different
yes,
styles,
and
her
she
ability
has
to.
her unique style. And also maybe the second time where I saw Audrey Hepburn, it is in our university, in communication building. We have a very big portrait of this actress.
Yes, that's right.
And that's why I think that such kind of, let's say, case studies can help.
Even though she got older, I remember her with her picture,
Yeah.
the poster.
Yes, and of course it is real classic movie, and I don't know, so it has romantic character,
Yes, yes.
really
She was,
pleasant.
As I have mentioned earlier, I'm going to give the microphone to those two ladies to talk about the movies used in translation and in teaching literature and in teaching language, foreign languages. First of all, I would like to start with you, Ainazik. Would you please tell us about your opinion about the movie used in teaching the literature, and in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think using movie in teaching English is very effective, because while watching, students are able to listen to the pronunciation and the usage of the grammar, the language within the movie. And well, of course, it's also interesting if the movie is selected correctly. I mean, according to the level of the students and their interests.
We're going to go into selection criteria a little bit later.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And Mary, what do you think about using movies in terms of translation and interpretation?
Yeah.
It might be your own ideas and also your friends as well.
Yeah. As far as I study for interpreter, it's really like necessity for everyone who studies at interpreter department to watch movie, and in order to improve their pronunciation, also in order to improve their listening skills. And so for this, it's really important. And in order to see, for example, nowadays I haven't have an opportunity to go abroad and see how native speakers speak English, right? And so the watching movie provides me with opportunity to see how people use their English in real life, and it's really
but how
useful.
can the interpreter benefit from watching a film?
First
How
of
can,
all,
from subtitles, should the subtitles be there for them to translate into the various languages? Or
I
should
think
they translate simultaneously from the film?
I think for the beginning it should be with subtitles, because when we are watching with subtitles, I can, for example, take notes, write down the words that I don't know.
And be translated later?
Yes, translate later.
But what about simultaneous translation of the voicing?
It's a bit hard for nowadays to translate simultaneously, but later on I can do it, I think.
How do translators dub these into, say, Russian and other language? Do they sit in the movie and do it?
I think the subtitle should be in a target, not in a target language, in a source language. Yeah, I think it's more effective way.
Yes.
to improve English.
So if the subtitle is in the first language, so what should the students translate into?
Into their
No,
into
the
target
in order
language,
to
right.
get practice, yes.
Yeah, but let's say in movie subtitle is in Kyrgyz or Turkish or Russian.
Yeah.
It's first language, right?
Yes.
And then, but the original, the movie is in
In
English.
English.
So what should they translate into? Which language?
In which language should the subtitles be? Also in English.
No,
Also
I mean
English, right?
subtitles should be in a source language, not in
Okay.
a target language.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
It's
if
the language of the film.
yeah,
So it's English.
if the actors speak in English, the subtitles should also be in English.
All right.
And then should the
No, we made it
translators
right now.
should the translator sit in the booth with headphones and simultaneously
Translate?
translate
Yeah.
with a microphone?
Yes.
We can try that next year, maybe.
As an exercise.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's a kind of practical exercise.
Yeah.
In the movie theater,
Yeah.
we might have some students with the headphones on.
Yes.
We might do that. Yeah. But maybe in some movies, it is difficult for the students to catch up the conversation while they are speaking, and then they read the subtitles on the screen,
Yeah.
and then they translate it
Maybe without
we might
maybe
use
without
both,
subtitles.
maybe.
Maybe without subtitles.
without subtitles. Yeah, that's better because if they are going to translate in the conferences or in some of the activities, academic activities, they won't have any subtitle.
Yeah.
Right.
No
Yeah.
subtitle when
Right.
I'm speaking.
Right. And after all, it's a simultaneous translation
Yeah.
department, so there should be
Yeah.
good training for them
Yes.
to.
Yes. Right.
And I think subtitles are sometimes disturbing because the students mostly should listen to the pronunciation but not read. But
That's right.
when there is subtitle, we don't listen normally.
I
That's
mean,
right.
they rely too much on the subtitles, and
Yeah.
And then they miss the scenes,
Miss this.
right?
Images.
Who was there?
We missed
The
it,
previous scene.
really.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't see the actors. We just read what's written
That's
downside,
right.
right?
It is visual reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you don't mind, I would like to go and move ahead a little bit. And we discussed a couple of times in the studio about the selection criteria of the movie so far. And I would like to also discuss it again a little bit different in terms of departments. First of all, and what should be the criteria to select movies for ELT and interpretation purposes? And would you please start first, Professor Carlson?
I think maybe clarity of the language. Is it really understandable to all audiences in all departments? Clarity. Does the movie represent different situations, dialectal situations? Can students hear different dialects in the movie? Does the movie have a positive tone? Does it have either a comedy? Does it have a serious tone? The seriousness of the movie. It should be either classical or modern movies, could be. But the movie should be well acclaimed. It should be well received by different audiences, and it should have good recommendations, good reviews. I think.
Do you think King's Speech might be a very good example for that?
Absolutely, yes.
For
yes.
translation department, right?
Mhm, because it deals with translation. And also My Fair Lady, which
Yeah.
maybe we could bring another Audrey Hepburn movie. where
So
she-
we should consider all kinds of things about translation to select the movies.
Even musicals, you
Yeah,
know, where
musicals,
there's both music and a spoken word. You know,
Mary, what do you think about this? Selecting movies for translation purposes,
Yes.
since you are in the same department.
Yeah, as Professor Carlson said, I think the most important is to choose the movies which are have like clarity, right? According to their clarity. And there are some modern movies where slangs are more used, and I think modern slangs, right? And I think slangs are in order to improve. In order to translate well, I think learning slangs also like useful for us, right? It's like necessity. And for translators, classical movies, I think they should be mixed modern movies and old movies are also recommended. I
So
think.
you say both of them, right?
Yeah, both of them,
Classical and modern.
Both
But
of
it
them
should
are important, I
exclude
think.
vulgarities.
interesting, yeah.
Vulgarity
Yeah.
should not be, many of our movies made today are nothing but vulgarities, vulgar expressions.
And the movie we
These should be
watched-
avoided, I think.
It should serve the purpose, I believe, and depending on the circumstances maybe and also depending on the syllabus to be followed by the students of Translation and Interpretation Department. So, but I don't think it's going to be a very big criteria for selecting movies, classical or modern. We just pay attention to the language used in the movies, right? It shouldn't be very archaic and it shouldn't be very old language, so it should be very easy for us to understand and translate. So what do you think about this, Ainazik? Classical or modern?
Well, I'm more to the modern movies because we are living in modern life and students are more to understand and interested in modern movies rather than classical or old ones.
But some modern movies are considered classical, It depends on how the movie has been received by the audiences. It becomes classic maybe through by the reputation of the movie. Everyone,
That's also right, yeah.
Yeah.
'cause
Well,
I think
in that case-
reputation is a criteria for
In
selecting
that case,
reviews.
it should
Reviews.
Be, yeah, it should be mixed, as Miriam said then.
So you
And,
changed your idea?
No, I didn't. Still,
But classical in the sense of being adapted from a book like Jane Eyre, or classical in the sense of well-acclaimed, well-reviewed movie.
Yeah, it's more about the genre of the movie, yeah. So
Again, I insist on just saying that the language in the movie is more and more important, not the theme, not the plot.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, and we are going into another topic here. See, we discussed a couple of times maybe here, three of us, we were not here at that time. And do we have to include the movie watching sessions or teaching language with feature movies into the overall syllabus in the departments? So
Hopefully, eventually, it will become not only a extracurricular activity, but a curricular activity, part of the syllabus. But this, I guess depends
then,
on
if we are going to include
credit,
these
for
things,
credit.
these movies into the overall syllabus of the departments, again, movie selection criteria becomes more important.
yes. And they should receive credit for coming to the movie.
Should be credited, right?
Yes, credit. 3 hours.
Dr. Chymanova.
whatever.
I'm sorry. Dr. Chymanova, what do you think about this
About including.
classical or modern, not just including in the syllabus, overall syllabus of departments?
Yes,
No.
because you know my answer, yes,
Yeah,
on
I
that
know
question.
your answer.
About classical or modern, I don't want to divide them into two.
You want to divide them into 3 or 4?
Yes, maybe more. I like your selection, how you selected movies. For example, classical, modern, really novels, comedies, but maybe some kind of suggestion being representative of literature department, I would like just to add more, as you said, classical works. I mean, after reading the novel, they could also watch the
Like
movie.
Oliver Twist
Yes.
or Jane Eyre.
Macbeth, for
Macbeth,
example,
yeah.
yes, and
Richard
it
III.
will be, double.
Shakespearean play
Yes.
be adapted to film.
Yes, because I again just say it on the behalf of my students. Once I just heard this idea, why don't we watch that one or this one after reading the book?
Because there are films with Laurence Olivier, acting
Now, do
Shakespearean
we have
plays.
to invite the students to the movie theater to watch the movie? They can watch that kind of movie in the internet or through internet. So
but
that's why we are just trying to look for
Yeah, but I
how
think
we
the
can use it
association,
effectively and with the practical exercises and practices in it.
Okay, yes.
I think the association with other students is important, all together. They're watching it as one group.
Yes, yes.
you know,
They can
should be all
interacting
more.
with one another.
Now for
Interaction.
the departments, if you just divide them into departments, literature and translation, we invite different students at different times. So, and I mean, nowadays, presently, we are doing that overall, right?
Yes, together.
Yeah, we fixed the time to 4 o'clock, but this should
Yeah,
be
it might change
adaptable.
next year, depending on the
It
curriculum.
should be
maybe,
flexible.
the other program.
Flexible.
First of all, we have to just work on how we can just include the movie watching session
Syllabus.
integrate into the overall syllabus. And I believe we have some more time. And again, why and how we could use the feature movies in terms of oral interpretation. I mean, we discussed a little bit, just said, and
Simultaneous translation.
simultaneous translation. Because it is the most difficult translation I have ever seen. I have done that for a couple of years.
You know,
It is difficult.
yes, absolutely.
It's not time consuming only, it is difficult. It's sweating.
On the other hand, it's good training for
Yeah.
simultaneous translators.
And
to do
also
that.
the movie watching session might be a good training for that.
Yes, yes.
What do you think about
But
this?
teachers have to be encouraged to motivate their students to come to the movies. I mean, some teachers are not doing this. And they have, because
You're bragging about the teachers, huh?
classes coincide with the movie time. And some teachers are not willing to let their students go because they don't think it's important, maybe. But from a point of view of being effective as a training ground for translators, then yes,
I have one suggestion. What if we include a lesson like English watching movies lesson, like an obligatory?
That is wonderful. I die for that.
yes, yes.
Yeah, but we're discussing that, and how we could that include into or integrate into the overall syllabus. You know, it is.
Yes, yes.
It takes time. It's difficult in terms of some paperworks.
Many departments have courses on film. Many universities have courses on film where it's part of the curriculum. They get credit
Maybe
for
it might be
activity.
audio visual or audio. I think, as far as I know, translation department has a class, audio translation or video or
Yes.
visual translation, something like that. It might be part of that, but how it's going to be integrated into your department?
But we had, in the past, we had one class.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
You had a
Mr.
film
Carlson?
class
Cinema
on
de
cinema,
Dida.
yes.
Yes.
What happened to this? Why?
It just disappeared from there.
Well, we shouldn't say that. It's a movie watching. No, we should find another name for that. It should be
We'll
an
find.
academic name.
Of course, we will try to
Not
find.
movie, I mean.
Yes, okay.
'Cause that would have been a perfect
Or you can say
framework.
teaching literature through media.
Yes.
Teaching literature through media. Why not?
Yeah. Yes, why
That
not?
would be a perfect framework for
Yeah.
movie
It will be
watching.
elective course here,
Yes,
I think.
Okay, ladies, and only a few gentlemen. Remember, yesterday we had a diversity day in our university in Kasım Conference Hall
Yeah, we did.
with the participation of all students from different departments. It was fantastic, and I liked that very much. I've been there from the beginning till the end, until the picture-taking session, right?
Yes, but only one department took part.
One
Western
department.
One
languages.
department,
Western
yes.
languages.
No, students from other departments were there,
Yes.
but all the performers were from the English language and literature department, right?
I wanted to.
You were there, and you were one of the lecturers who helped them, right?
Yeah.
To come that event through.
Yeah.
So what would you say about this? I know you are very eager to say about something about this.
No, I wanted to say after your words.
No, we're going to say our ideas later on, after you. Ladies first.
Okay, so we were getting ready to this event, not 1 month, yes, Ainazik, about
more than 1 month.
yes, more than 1 month. And we had such kind of, let's say, event 3 years ago when
Yeah.
Ainazik was just a freshman, and it was wonderful. I don't know, Mr. Carlson, did you take part in that or not? I think no, you didn't.
No,
Yes.
no.
And again, just we tried to make such kind of, let's say, program where we tried to unite, let's say, different cultures, different nations, and just try to show their maybe some, not traditions, I think, maybe just some natural issues connected to them, just to present it to the audience.
Yeah.
And
It follows the United Nations,
Yes.
they encourage language diversity. The Red Book
okay,
of the Dying Languages. These languages have to be kept alive,
okay,
and this is one way of doing it, by language diversity.
yes,
Many languages are dying every day,
disappearing, yes.
and they're disappearing. Parents are not teaching them to the children.
Yes, this one
And,
is one of the most reasons.
And language diversity is very important to preserve culture, to preserve linguistic diversity.
Yes. I heard that at some other universities it can take more than one day, about week, yes? Diversity week they have.
Yes, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yes,
and,
yes,
it
yes.
is
Why
devoted
not
to that.
Diversity Week?
And United Nations has a special day for the year.
First of all, let's just finish one day. After that, maybe we'll just
Yeah, it's
eventually.
yesterday we saw only the performances on the stage. Why not academic things at the end or at the very beginning? Small talks, debates, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, should be
presentations.
expanded into a week.
I mean,
Yes.
our
I
students
think
from literature and language and literature department, they might prepare some talks and discussions and debates, and not only the performing on the stage.
connected
It
to
is
language.
the entertainment side.
Debates about the importance of diversity,
Yeah, I mean,
the linguistic and cultural
bilingualism
diversity.
and diversity in cultures, diversity in language, many kinds of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And you were there, were you? No, you weren't.
Because of my exams, I couldn't
Oh.
take part.
She confessed now. She was not there. Okay.
Yeah, I was.
You were.
there,
I know you
of
were on
course.
the team.
Yeah, I was. But I was as audience watching and clapping my hands, supporting the groups. Well, it was very wonderful, very amazing. Almost all the cultures and nations, their languages were involved. And we just learned some new information, for example, about wild Africans. So I want to say that it should be done every year, not in 3 or longer.
Every 2 years you do that?
Every
3
year.
years ago.
But for a
we did
week,
this.
for a
3
week,
years ago.
for a
3
week.
years ago, yes,
For
in
1
December.
week, should be.
It should be for 1 week.
Not only one day, but
Diversity week.
Yeah, every 2 years might be 1 week. Yeah. Depend. I mean, the program or the schedule might be very overloaded. I mean,
In this case, maybe some other departments also can be involved. Chinese language, Russian
Yeah.
language,
Yeah,
translation
possible.
department.
Translation.
Why not?
And it
will
should
be
maybe
overall 1
coincide,
week, one diversity day, diversity week.
week. Yes.
could coincide with United Nations Day of Languages.
Yes.
Right. Good idea.
It would be very entertaining and interesting because there were like Russian Kyrgyz for students who do not understand only English, and I think it was interesting for everyone.
That's right. Anything to add, or I'm going to finish?
No?
Good. Thank you very much for
Discovered very
joining
well.
us. Again, we finished today at Media Manas. As you see, we discussed a lot of things. And we're going to continue discussion with some other students, maybe coming weeks. And we say goodbye for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.